Hey guys, it's Andy with Always and Forever. Hey, what I want to do today is actually show you how to use the Thermidor coffee maker. For those of you who enjoy coffee or love coffee, this is this is probably one of my favorite things in this house. This is a Thermidor coffee maker. You probably look it up on the internet. It's quite common, easy to find instructions on, but I kind of want to run a couple things to let you know how to use it really quick. There's a couple key important things. Number one, you've got a water container right here. Pops out, you can fill it up. This lasts probably about 7 or 8 coffees, maybe even 12 coffees, depending on what size. And if you're doing any type of macchiatos or espressos or anything like that. This does fresh beans. So this is the bean filler. You can see it's a little low right now. So when you come into town, you may want to grab some fresh beans. You can put coffee, ground coffee in here. Honestly, guys, I just don't care for it. It doesn't seem to really work the way I'd like it to work. It makes coffee, to me, just a little weak. This right here is for doing any type of espresso, or I'm sorry, cappuccinos or lattes or anything like that. We'll talk about this in a minute, but this is where you put your milk. This is your tray where all your water goes. As you can see, it's a little full right now. You got to make sure this stays emptied. Also, this is where the coffee grounds go into. You can pull this whole tray out. But this is where the coffee grounds will go into. And as you can see, there's a decent amount of coffee grounds in there. I suggest once or twice a day just to dump both of these and rinse them out. They pull straight out. This one probably needs to be dumped out now. All the coffee mugs are right below it here, right below it. On the latte macchiatos, you can actually do 16 ounces in these cups right here. These smaller ones, you have to do either 10 or 12s. So you can scroll through the menu. Here's all your options. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Espresso, macchiato, espresso, ristrettos, hot water. So you can do your tea in here, hot milk, milk froth, coffee latte, latte macchiato. I do a lot of latte macchiatos. In here, if you hit the down button, you could scroll. You've got ground coffee. Actually, I don't think you can change it on this one. You can do 16 ounce large, 12 ounce, 10 ounce, 8 ounce, 6 ounce. I do 16s on this one. Your temperature control, you can do high, very high, whatever you'd like. This is on the latte macchiatos. You can go back up. And if you want to go to like just a coffee, scroll down again. You can do an 8 ounce, 6 ounce, whatever you'd like. You can do your temperatures. And then you should be able to do, for some reason it's not allowing me to do, oh, I see why. Anyways, you can also change the strength of the coffees. You can do, I set on ground coffee because I pulled it out and put it back in. So I believe if I do that, let me go back to coffee. Let's see, maybe not. Bean container almost empty yet, but it's reading it now. So what you can do is now, let's go to latte macchiato. Scroll down. It keeps wanting to read coffee. You can actually set your strengths. Anyways, you can do weak coffee, strong coffee, very strong, so forth, so on. I think it did that because I messed with the bean. Anyways, you can go through here if you want to. You can do doubles. That means you're going to do 2 right back to back. Now remember, if you're going to do 2 right back to back, we kind of have to be waiting here when the coffee finishes. You need to put your other coffee right up. So that's about it. Pretty easy to use. You can hit start, stop. My suggestion is once you're done, like especially if you're doing the milk, like the cappuccinos or latte macchiatos, I highly, 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 highly suggest that when you're done with everything, hit the clean button. You're gonna hit start. You're gonna open a door. You're gonna pull this out. All right, you're gonna pull that out. You stick it in this little hole right here. I'm making a little bit of a mess right now because I only have one arm or one hand free. You'll stick in that hole. That's extremely important. If you don't, it's gonna pour out over here and flood. It's done this to a couple people before and kind of made a mess. So you're gonna stick it right there in that hole. That way the water actually goes down in here. Otherwise it's gonna go here and run out. So please, 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 please remember, just put that in the hole provided right there. You're gonna close it. I take this all the way down. By the way, this is adjustable depending on whether you do a tall glass or a short glass or a mug. Then you're gonna hit start stop to clean it. And it's gonna go ahead and clean it. It usually takes only about 15, 20 seconds to do that particular clean. That's about it. Just remember, the trays actually have to be pulled out every once in a while. The coffee grounds have to be pulled out. If you just do it at the end of the morning or in the evening before you go to bed or something like that, it'll make sure that when you get up in the morning, it's nice and fresh. If you let it go for too long, what ends up happening is it gets a little bit smelly because the coffee grounds will sit in there, that water gets stagnant in there. It does have organic material in it, so it can get kind of stinky. But that's usually if you let it sit for like 5 days or so. You can see it's done, and then you can just hit off. It says, hey, if you remove the milk container, you're gonna hit yes, and it'll power down and turn off. Anyways, that's it. I'll see if I can find a link for the manual or maybe a video from Thermidor so you can learn about this more. It's kind of nice to know once you come down here, instead of figuring out why you're down here, figure it out before you get here. If you do go to Publix, my suggestion is get some, well, I do sugar-free, so do some coffee syrups, coffee beans. Sorry, the vacuum is going. And then what you can do is in this canister, I do 2% milk. So what I'll do is I'll fill it up about right here with 2% milk. I'll do about 3 or 4, maybe 5 tablespoons of coffee syrup, and then I'll fill it up about that much with coffee creamer. Any coffee creamer you're gonna want, just kind of makes a nice base for it. Or sometimes I'll do a half and half, something like that. So if you do about that much, if you do about half of it, maybe 60%, 2% milk, maybe 30%, and coffee creamer, half and half, and then maybe 10% with coffee cream. You can make your own custom flavors for your froth milk, for your cappuccinos and latte macchiatos. Anyways, that's it. Cheers, everybody.